It's the Hip Hop Gamer Show. What it is, Hip Hop Gamer Show.
Fight Night VR or something like that, or at least like a Fight Night VR game, or having VR in UFC and seeing how the action comes to you. I think that right there would solidify how respected this joint is. Because think about it, you can always look at something. Mayweather says it the best. He's like, yeah, you can look at it all day, but it's different when you're in front of the person. It's just way different.
I mean,
come on, this is a fight game. Come on, dude.
I would say I see it having more opportunity in Fight Night, because I mean, even Fight Night round 3 when they did it on PS4, they had that first person view where you could play. But the thing about UFC, and this has been a challenge from the get-go, is that, and we may have talked about this before, but like jiu-jitsu, right, it is a sport that you can play that sport blind. Right? I've rolled with guys on my team back when I was doing it. It's like, hey, okay, I'm gonna start off in your guard, and he just had his eyes closed, because he doesn't need to see where I am. Like, he's got me in this full guard. He's got wrist control. What the hell is his eyes going to tell him more than what he can feel by, like, where my center of gravity is, how much leverage he has, all that kind of stuff, right? Like, and with the kind of stuff that, you know, top level jiu-jitsu guys do, is like, look, we're on the ground, like, you know, your palms on my chin, you're pushing me ahead, like, I'm not looking at your leg to see that I'm freaking getting you locked down or whatever. Like, I'm just feeling where it is. Jiu-jitsu is a sport that, you know, you can do really well blindfolded.
Wow.
You mean? So, because it's not about seeing it, right? It's not about seeing it, it's about feel. It's about, like, feeling weight, leverage, balance, So, and that's one of the reasons why it's so challenging to put in video games, because the only way we can only show you things, right? You can't feel where the guy is on top of you. So
absolutely.
That's why the ground game's really been a tough nut to crack, for not just for us, but for every mixed martial arts game ever.
Yeah.
So from VR perspective, like, again, like, okay, VR, let's say you had a headset on, right? And you're lying on the ground and you're looking up at the ceiling, right? And your opponent has your head trapped, so you can't look down and see what your feet are doing. You mean, like, you know, to make your, you know, it's, you know, very often in jiu-jitsu, you're not looking at what you're doing, you're just feeling what you're doing and what your opponent's doing. So that's, I don't think VR would work with that.
That makes sense, because since it's more of a field thing, it's doing
but more, fighting games where the person's always right there in front of you.
Yeah, like KO mode would be better for something like that. The reason why I say that, because talk with a few other people that I know, one of the things that they mentioned was that Fight Night Champions, because it's so great, there is a lot of people that want it back. There is a lot of people that tweet out and talk about they want this. And maybe from a budget standpoint, if they was to invest in it, they may not go like full throttle like they do on UFC in terms of investing in the game. But if they did like a Fight Night VR version just to test the waters to see if it's truly something that people would buy and get into, that could be a all new stepping stone to possibly bring a Fight Night back. And that's why I wanted to ask you that question, to see if there is like any chance of a Fight Night VR, or if one was to be done, would you and the team take that on to do it, although y'all working with UFC?
I mean, again, you know, like I said, I'm the guy that wears a t-shirt. But yeah, I think that if we were looking at it, I think sort of reasonably and sort of immediate horizon timelines, you know, if there was a Fight Night that was going to come out soon, I'd be surprised if we undertook like a VR sort of approach. Yeah. Just because it's like, you know, hey, look, we just finished making like UFC on a new console for the first time. Like, I don't know if the team would be like super excited, like, let's learn some new technology. Got you. But yeah, I think there's definite. I guess for me, what I would want to see first, like the games that are obviously going to shine in VR world are like first-person shooters, right? Yeah, like, definitely. Like, I'm looking, or like, you know, freaking survival horror genres would be freaking amazing.
I wouldn't play them, I'm scared.
Yeah, right. But like, you know, I want to see that. As a gamer, I want to see that first before, as a developer, I'm like, yeah, it's worth taking a risk on a, you know,
on a precious
Fight Night game. Right? Yeah. You know, not because it's precious, but just because, hey, like, you know, the Fight Night market is it's smaller than the first-person shooter market, right? Yeah. You know, so you know, that's the right way to go there first, for sure.
Yeah, just to test the waters, decent budget, nothing too crazy. but you get a big response, it could go into something, and then next thing you know, you got UFC and Fight Night back on the market. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Now, one of the most important things I wanted you to show me was the grappling system. Yep. So let's go to the grappling. I want to see how that works and stuff like that. Yo, I'm telling y'all right now, you know what I'm saying? We live here, Hot 97. Hip Hop Gamer, got my man Brian, EA Sports is in the game, we in the building, UFC, and I'm extremely proud of the entire team. Love you guys, love you girls. It's insane. For real, man. The
thing I've been noticing as I've been going on press is like, you know, we had an hour scheduled, whatever. We're already at that. Not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But like, yeah. So we've been going through all this. We haven't even talked about literally one of the biggest changes to the game.
Yeah.
Which is the dynamic grappling.
Yeah. I gotta see that grappling, man. Gotta see that because a lot of people that I talk to, dog, is very intimidated by the grappling system. So sometimes they won't even play UFC simply because of that element.
Yep.
So when the KO mode was announced, I was like, hey, this is perfect because it brings the casuals in. And if they learn to like this the way it is, then they'll feel more comfortable going into what the grappling is. But let's see what the grappling is about.
Sure.
Okay.
So you go there, you can beat McGregor.
Shoot, my bad. Yeah, I'm beat McGregor. Word up.
We'll just give ourselves plenty of time.
Yeah, definitely.
So first off, one of the big things is technologically speaking, the ground game works different than any other ground game that's worked before. So it's
absolutely,
we call it dynamic grappling, but it's the first time there's ever been like two-player simultaneous, like independent action on the ground. Right?
Yeah.
So last year, you know, or every other MMA game before this is like, hey, if I went to the ground, I'm on top, you're on bottom, whatever. Whichever one of us moves first, the other guy can't do anything else besides defend that move. Right? It was kind of churn. That's the way it used to work.
That is
right?
true. That is true.
Right? Because it was really complicated to make that whole system work. But what's really challenging about that is like, okay, so we're on the ground. You know, we're talking about like, you know, fractions of a second here. So we're on the ground. You start doing something a fraction of a second before I did.
Yeah.
Right. If I wasn't totally 100% keyed in and watching you, then I didn't necessarily notice that you did something first, and I inputted something on my stick. But then my fighter didn't do anything because I didn't defend the thing that you started doing a fraction before I started. I mean,
yeah.
And you're kind of like, well, what? Why didn't I do? Oh, I had to. And it's kind of like being in a pitch black room trying to find a door handle, and there's there's no information there for you to make your
just
right?
guessing.
You're just hoping that you get
you don't want to feel like
first, or that you wait to see the other guy go first. So now, what's drastically different about this game, and if you just be so kind, just let me take you down.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Show off the grappling game. So shoot in for a double leg. You'll see the first instance of the grapple assist HUD on the screen. Now.
Oh wow!
So
son,
I'm in top control. I'm top half guard. Now, right again, the grappling HUD shows me what I can do and how to do it. So I push the right stick to that direction. Now I'm inside.
Oh my god, this is so much.
That's not. We haven't even gotten into the really good part yet, though. So now it's like, hey, whatever position I'm in, it shows me how to get to the next position.
Yes.
And what I need to do to get there. Now the other thing is, you can see that, hey, you can go to sprawl, you can go to half guard. So if you go to sprawl, I can start trying to go to north-south, but you beat me there.
Oh.
We started those things at slightly different times, but you beat me. So on the ground at any time, I can start transitioning to a position, and you can start transitioning to a position as soon as it becomes available.
Right.
And we're basically just moving. None of us is doing defense yet, right? We're just transitioning from different positions that are available to us at the same time.
Right.
Right. And some of them sort of carry into each other. Based on what the circumstances are. So, like if you recover half guard again, right, and now you might go, if you go to try and get full guard, and I start trying to get top mount, actually my transition to top mount turns into a half guard transition because I was trying to get out that side, but you went that side, right? So we're moving at the same time. None of us had even to worry about denying a transition yet.
Yeah.
Right?
You're like fighting for position, like.
Yeah. So now, when we talk about denying position, that ref stand this up because we're sitting there talking too long. But then the defense is also a lot simpler as well because it's basically just visual cues. I'm on the ground. I'm on top of you now. If I see you going that way, oh no, you stood up.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's quite all right. But if you go try and get up to the right side.
Yeah, to the right side.
And I see you move to the right. Right now you kind of go, it's too late on that one. But basically the way defense works on the ground is I no longer, like last year was like submissions was right trigger and up.
Yeah.
Defend get-ups was right trigger and down. Defend transitions was left or right.
Mm.
But sometimes initiating a get-up kind of looked like the guy was moving right. Right?
So it was hard to
And you didn't
know
know.
what's happening.
Right.
That's
So
cool.
the defense works this way is that basically you just have to look at the screen. If you see the guy moving that way, defend that way. And it doesn't matter if he's starting a submission, trying
Whatever
to
it is.
stand up.
If he's
or trying
going
to
this way, go
transition,
that way.
You block whatever he's doing, whether it's a submission
Whatever
or
side it
transition or
is.
get-up. But really, the grappling HUD is really the next big thing. So here we're on basic stuff. If I want to see what submissions are available to me, I hold the L2. I don't have anything from top guard. I want to see advanced transitions like getting up from full guard. Available. So if I want to get a submission, okay, let me move to half guard. Do I have a submission? Oh, I don't. Okay, I'm going to go to side control. I know I have to have one here, like a Kimura.
Sprawl.
Oh, you went to sprawl before I could. Oh, I got a guillotine from here, so I'm going to shoot for the guillotine. Now we're in the submission game. Now you just push the right stick and you get out. Ta-da, I'll let you out. We're not good. Alright, I'm going to go get backside. And then from here I can fill you with punches. While you transition to full guard, I'm going to try and get half guard. You're trying to get up. I got half guard before you get up. You go full guard, I'm going half guard, so I'm out the other side.
Now, let me ask you, so
I posture up.
but
got way better hit reactions on the ground too.
Oh,
to the body. Oh, to the head.
Now, my thing is, how would you block that?
So if it's not
Because from what I just saw, it's like I'm on the ground and I'm blocking, right? And you're punching me, but in the process, I can't get out. I can't maneuver because if I try to maneuver, you're gonna get a couple hits off me because I can't hold the R1 and maneuver at the same time.
Yeah. So the way there's another system involved here, like in addition to so each transition takes a certain amount of time. So some transitions are just inherently faster than others. It's easier for me to posture up than it is for you to recover, say, full guard. But there's also a concept of grappling advantage. So top mount is a really bad position for you. Once I posture up here, the strikes I throw here would be really dangerous.
Yeah.
So you want to block, right?
Yeah.
You hold it and you block a strike. Okay, great. Now you go to transition to half guard, and grapple advantage system makes that transition a lot faster than it normally would be. Right? So if you hadn't blocked those two strikes that I threw beforehand, the transition would be a little bit slower. It would be easier for me to defend. I'm going to keep you in that position. So under the hood, there's a system of grapple advantage that sort of swings momentum on the ground to help you get into dangerous positions. So,
Okay.
So.
All right.
But yeah, the fact that the two player independent interaction, like so we can without either of us, and it's obviously in the clinch as well.
So I was trying to see.
So you were looking for takedown, but I got to the tie clinch and I freaking land major knees on your face. Yeah, you go for that takedown, or you let it go.
Okay. Break. Oh wow. Ooh.
Oh, good job.
Oh.
So that's another thing there. I actually completely new thing as well. So traditional takedown defense, right trigger and down.
Yeah.
We also have submission takedown defense. So if I do left trigger and defend the takedown, you might shoot in for a double leg, and I'll just wrap you up in a guillotine right away.
What?
Yeah. So stuff like that.
Yo.
So, but that's all like
That's crazy.
next level. But you can see that the independent interaction on the ground, like without us,
that's
having to
a
get
lot
defense,
better. That's a lot better.
Ground game is fluid. You can keep moving, scrambling out of positions all the time. Then once you start learning defense, you become even more deadly. And then once you know how to like work in strikes, you build a grapple advantage. So the ground game is super deep. But the nice thing about it is like the base layer is you can always just keep scrambling and rolling to a new position because you don't have to wait for the other guy to start a move that for you to defend, and then you can do something. You're always able to try something, whatever position you get into. So it's one of the biggest changes to the genre for sure that I can imagine in a long time. Yeah, you got me.
Side control. Oh, I see what you're saying. Side control again. I got him. Wow. Now, I was trying to strike you, but I couldn't.
So it's basically you got to get to a position where
oh wow.
So now if you posture up right now, which would be pushing up the right stick. So now you're in a really good position to strike.
Oh,
And
so you can't strike from anywhere.
Well, not when you're in the middle of like
A
if you're in
transition.
the middle of like you're rolling over. Yeah,
Because you wouldn't do that. Yeah, I got you.
But in pretty much any position that you're in like this, I can strike you in the face, right?
Right. Oh, I see what you're saying.
You can always sneak a few in there.
Oh, wow. Posture up. Now I'm in that posture up joint. Sneak a few in there. Oh. Half guard. And then, you know what? This is a good teacher.
Well, that's actually one of the things we did. We found out when we were testing. You can see the hit reactions are super cool on the ground. They build in intensity. But one of the things we learned when we put in this grapple HUD system, right, was that like, when the grapple HUD's not on, we let people play. Right? Yeah. People, even UFC fans, or casual fans would say so like, oh yeah, well I took him down and I was kind of like, I was sort of half on him, and then I went on the side and then I got all the way on top of him. Right? Yeah. Okay, but then people that play and the HUD's on, they're like, oh yeah, well, I did a single leg and I got into half guard and then I transitioned to side control and I got top mount. Yeah. Because the names of the positions are on the screen.
Nah, that's important.
You start learning how to what they need and stuff. So.
This has been a hell of a presentation, and you know what else too? It's a big jump from UFC 1, and a lot of times, especially in the sports world, you don't get big jumps. It's coming out every year, so you don't get like those big jumps.
We do. I mean, not to do our colleagues that because they have to come out every year. We normally get at least 8 a year and a half, right?
Yeah, I know. So
the amount extra you can get done in those extra 6 months is a ton.
But my thing is, I feel like that's the way things should be. I feel like that's something that should be looked into, even with the other, even with your partners over at Madden and all this other stuff. I think that should be looked into because this right here, is better than those games. Like in terms of every time a new one come out, the gap. That's what I mean. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you think, well, damn, why don't give them more time because this shit is worth it. Like that's what I'm saying. When a person spends $60 on a game, you want to feel like you got something that you didn't get last year. Like you really want to feel that way as a consumer. This game, you gave us that and more, simply because you're teaching us something, but also you're not forcing what you're teaching on us because you got the KO mode. There's a balance here. But then the whole game itself, it's a simulation and arcade in one, and you can enjoy it.